What's up everybody, it's LaMuerteBlanca and we are back with another explained video. This time we're diving into the Witcher universe with Thronebreaker, The Witcher Tales. Most people who know The Witcher don't know about this fun little spin-off. It's an interesting RPG card battler with a great story that is truly dictated by the choices that you make. Endings, companions, even army buffs change with every single decision. And because this can go so many ways, I'm going to do my best to focus on the mainline story while touching on a handful of possible branch-offs that I made during my playthrough. Regardless, this game is definitely worth playing. However, if you're one of those that hate Gwent, get crippling anxiety from deciding the fate of virtual peasants, or can't spare 30 plus hours to experience this game for yourself, don't worry, I got you. Let me tell you the story of a guy telling other people the story of Queen Meve, Queen of Lyria and Rivia. All the way back in 1267, for the three of you who can actually follow the series' confusing ass timeline, the Nilfgaard Empire was ready to invade the north and be total assholes like always. For the record, it's Nilfgaard with an N. No one's out here trying to protect your mom. With invasion looming, the Northern Realms had a summit that probably went something like, "Yo, you heard about Nilfgaard? Yeah, they want our land. They trying to kill our peasants? Maybe we should not be punk bitches and protect this house." Meve's feeling good about the summit, and when she rides back home, she's met by Count Caldwell, a fat medieval Yosemite Sam. He was supposed to help Meve's son, Willem, run the kingdom while she was away. Turns out, he sucks at his job because bandits are out here stealing all the queen's gold. Queen goes out to kick ass and take her money back when she finds Gascon, the leader of the bandits. He jokes despite getting his ass kicked. Queen puts him in chains and sends him to the castle dungeon. A messenger shows up. Nilfgaard started the invasion, and they're trying to take one of Meve's forts. Oh shit. Queen's all like, fuck that, and they ride out, whoop Nilfgaard's ass, but she's wondering where the hell Willem's army is. Why didn't he send reinforcements? Meve gets to her capital and finally meets her son. She's all like, what the fuck, Willem? He said he didn't want to be hasty and instead wanted to think through his actions. Well, that's great. Thank God we all know that Willem isn't hasty. In fact, he was so prudent that a bunch of his people died. Prudent. You know what else starts with P? Pussy. Willem is just a sniveling little bitch that's not fit to wear the crown. And some of you might be thinking, damn Blanca, that's harsh. To which I'd agree, until I tell you that Willem, Caldwell, and the rest of Meve's court decided to surrender to Nilfgaard behind her back and not even try to fight. Giant fucking pussies. Naturally, Meve is pissed and tells everyone they're out of their damn minds. Caldwell wants her hanged, but Willem finally gets one of his balls back and just decides to throw her in jail. Caldwell visits Meve in jail, and this fuck says he hired the bandits to go wild, which caused Meve to deal with the situation while he let Nilfgaard in the front door. Caldwell is manipulating the hell out of Willem because, again, Willem's just a little bitch. Before Meve tells Caldwell to go plow himself, Caldwell says in the morning Willem will pledge loyalty to the Nilfgaardian General Dahi, and Meve will end up being killed. Unbeknownst to Caldwell, Gascon doesn't take kindly to being played, so his boys set him free. He then sets the queen free, she sets Raynor, her loyal second in command, free, and they try to escape. However, they have a lengthy conversation in the middle of the street, like there aren't a bunch of armed guards trying to find them first. Meve decides she's going to rebuild her army, drive Nilfgaard back, and shove her foot so far up Caldwell's ass, he's going to shine her shoes when he spits. Raynor's automatically in because of chivalry or knightly loyalty or some shit. Gascon thinks she's insane, but he's in. At this point, he and his crew really have nothing going on for them, considering everyone else wants them dead as well. Finally, they escape and they head for Edirne. The queen's going to call in a favor with one of their king homies, hoping to strengthen her army, but it won't be easy. Turns out the Scoia'tael joined Nilfgaard's side, and they're all over the area. The Scoia'tael are basically a bunch of non-humans, mostly elves, who are tired of the persecution of the humans. Kind of like pissed off Native Americans who are tired of having all their shit taken from them. Honestly, you can't really blame them. A band of Scoia'tael are about to hang some prisoners. Meve recognizes one of them and decides to save the group. Turns out the girl is Black Rayla, a badass warrior type that serves under the king Meve is trying to meet up with. Side note, she's also super racist against elves. Understandable since most of the elves that she come across are trying to kill her and her people, but still. Rayla's on a mission to eliminate the band leader, Eldane, and agrees to be Meve's guide along the way. On the way, they end up in Rossburg, a once unbreachable fortress that got breached and is all kinds of messed up. Meve's army retakes the fortress and finds one lone survivor, an engineer that looks like he had his head pushed through a meat grinder. Xavier. Xavier is mad his people are dead and his face looks like sausage filling, so he decides to join Meve in order to help get revenge. Meve and a crew continue working their way to the king, pick up a dog because it's not a good RPG without a canine companion, and eventually run into Eldain, the Scoia'tael leader Rayla's after. As you might guess, Eldain's an asshole. They kill him. The army continues on. Meve forces a Nilfgaard mage to choke on his own blood, and they find a megascope. It's basically FaceTime with magic because, no phones. And what does Meve use this magical marvel for? To tell her enemy, General Dahi, to go fuck himself. And you thought Modern Warfare 2 lobbies were bad. This shit goes back all the way to 1267. Finally, they get to Meve's king homie, and the city is getting completely bombarded by Nilfgaard. King evacuated everyone except his own guard, and they're trying to hold down the city. It's a losing battle, and death is all but certain. So why is he still there? Why hasn't he retreated yet? I'll tell you, because he got the brothel hooker pregnant, and she is literally having the baby. Like, right now. Great timing, I know. She can't be moved, and he refuses to leave. He asks Meve to sacrifice her army and help him buy some time so they can have this child. Meve does, they escape, and what does she get in return? Jack shit. King's a giant pussy too and says he's gonna go hide and try to build his force back up after Nilfgaard eradicated everybody. All he offers is a ring given to him by the dwarves, and he says go ask the dwarves for help. This doesn't spur much confidence because the dwarves care little for humans in their petty wars, but with no other options, Meve heads to the dwarven mountains Mahakam. Rayla introduces her to Gabor, the dwarven guide, and then dips. Unless you are a total racist to all the Scoia'tael you fought in the woods, Rayla doesn't want to be your friend anymore. She must be late for a clan rally or something, I don't know. Gabor leads you along until you run into Elder in Chief. He's old as hell, stubborn as hell, and wants nothing to do with the war since Mahakam is basically this universe's Switzerland. Meve has the ring, so she's welcome to stick around, but Elder in Chief dips, so the queen and her army are basically SOL at this point. However, Gabor offers an idea. If Meve can help the dwarves by taking out 2 massive monster nests and get the favor of the other clans, then the Elder-in-Chief will be forced to cooperate. With nothing to lose, Meve and her army help a bearded lady steal a book, they take out a dragon, and do all kinds of other favors for the different clans. One random day during all of this, however, Reynard captures a Nilfgaardian messenger who has a letter confirming that there's a traitor in Meve's army, but they don't know who. After taking out the monster's nest, Meve's on her way to report to Elder Chief when Gascon steps in. Apparently, the dead dwarves at those sites were not killed by monsters. Those clans were first wiped out by another clan. Suddenly, Gabor seems extra sus when the queen calls his ass out. Back against the wall, Gabor admits to misleading the queen and wanted those sites destroyed to hide the fact that his clan eradicated the other clans. Gabor pleads it was the clan's elders' decisions, not his own, and begs Meve not to tell the Elder-in-Chief for the consequences will very likely be dire. Meve meets up with the Elder-in-Chief and he is pissed. He was investigating the sites and now all the evidence is gone since Meve destroyed those nests. Meve has to choose whether or not to snitch on the homie Gabor. Now, I ain't no snitch, but what Gabor's clan did was super messed up, so I snitched. If you do that, Gabor's entire clan gets banished from Mahakam, and the homie, yeah, he loses his head. Literally. That's my bad. If you decide to keep the secret, Gabor is indebted to you and he joins your army for the remainder of the game. Good news is the Elder appreciates your honesty, so he sends Meve some troops. Bad news is while Meve's army is celebrating with the dwarves, a Nilfgaardian escort rolls up with Willem. Why is he here? And how the hell does he know that Meve is here? Willem again asks his mother to give up. He says losing is inevitable, to which his loving mother tells him to go fuck off. Again, dying fighting for freedom is better than being a Nilfgaardian slave. Let's go, Meve. Put your son in his place. Now it's time to bring a fight to Nilfgaard and send a message to the rest of the northern kingdoms that they can stop being little bitches and actually fight. They head to Angren, a Nilfgaardian resource hub that also happens to be led by Caldwell himself. Angren's a swampland flooded with monsters, and Meve finds out she has not one, but 2 snakes in her court. Say what? Reynard calls out Gascon for being a traitor. He made the capture of the most recent fort way too easy, and he's been acting extra sus lately. Reynard thinks Gascon is the traitor. Gascon admits to everything, no, and plans to sell out Meve, but then he claims he had a change of heart as he spent more time with her and earned his respect. Gascon then turns to Reynard, who says he hasn't been so innocent himself. What? Reynard sent secret missives to Willem, and that's how he knew Meve was in Mahakam. Reynard, no! You were supposed to be the ultimate homie. What happened? Reynard claims that he did it to give mother and son an opportunity to reconcile. It's just messed up the fact that he did it behind her back. Both express deep regret and are asking for forgiveness. Meve gets another choice. She can either keep them or send one, the other, or both packing. Yeah, I felt kind of bad for getting Gabor's head chopped off, so I decided to spare them both. Finally, Meve and her army are at a castle that holds the scum of the earth, Caldwell. They siege the castle, and like the cockroaches Nilfgaard is, Caldwell claims that with every army Meve stamps out, more will likely take their place. He called reinforcements who are on their way. Meve, who's tired of Caldwell's BS, yeets his ass out the tower window. Now he's nothing more than a bloody stamp on the ground. We don't have to look at his stupid mustache anymore. Thank God. Desperate to escape their reinforcements, Meve's battered army takes a secret passage through the most dangerous part of the swamp. They meet Ivo, a witcher on the hunt for a Gurnakora, a deadly monster that uses its blood to control other monsters. Because why not? As soon as Ivo leaves, Meve's army runs into that very monster. They manage to slay and burn Oogie Boogie's wife and continue through the swamp until they are stopped by a large quagmire. Meve orders Xavier to build a bridge, during which Scarface tries to kill the queen. Oh shit. Xavier is actually a Nilfgaardian spy, and dude's been undercover for the longest, even back when he joined Edirn's army. He's the one that sabotaged the fort that he was found at, and he's been traveling with me this whole time as a traitor. Just in time, Gascon and Reynard roll up, shank this fool, and save the queen. By the way, if Meve tells Reynard and Gascon to get to steppin' back when they betrayed her, they still show up to save her and end up rejoining the army. So close to escaping the pursuing army, there is one more obstacle: the fort guarding the exit. With no other choice, Meve's army rushes the fort, and then when all seems lost as Meve takes a sword to the face and the army's getting butchered, Dandelion, Kahir, and oh my god, the White Wolf himself, Geralt, roll up and join the fight. They barely eke out a victory, and immediately Queen Meve decides to knight Geralt, thus becoming the famous Geralt of Rivia. Too bad soon after, he disappears. He's gone now. Word of Meve's victories begin to spread, spurring hope among the northern kingdoms. They finally decide to stop being little bitches and start to take back what they so easily gave away to Nilfgaard, their lands as well as their balls. After having her crown taken, thrown in jail, and having to fight her way through a war-torn countryside, forest, mountain, and swamps, Meve and her army are finally returned to Lyria and Rivia, stronger than ever and ready to send Dahi home in a body bag. A messenger arrives on behalf of Willem. He wants to meet and proposes a truce, provided Meve meets certain conditions. Meve hears what he has to say, and personally, this little entitled piece of has way too many demands for all the BS he put his mom through. However, Meve can decide to accept his terms, causing Willem and his men to join her army. She can tell her son once again to piss off, which is what I did if you couldn't guess already. Or you can just have Willem arrested and be done with it. Meve's army finally arrives at Rivia Castle. Dahi requests an audience with Meve, and like all shitty villains, gives her a heads up that reinforcements are on their way, basically giving away his entire plan because, you know, that's what you got to do when you're a bad guy. Meve knows if they get pinched between two armies, they are screwed. So they have to take the castle tonight. The plan is to have someone sneak in and open the gate, and she has to choose between Reynard and Gascon. As the army waits with immense anticipation, the gate finally opens. So they're all like, Lyria! And rush in, slaughtering everyone from Nilfgaard. During the slaughter, Meve has one goal: get to the person that she sent to open the gate, make sure they're okay. Spoiler, like there aren't always spoilers in these videos anyway, if you teamed up with or arrested Willem, whoever you send to open the gate dies. That would be Gascon or Reynard. If you don't accept Willem's terms like I did and just send him back to the Nilfgaard side, he ends up feeling bad for being a shitty son and opens the gate himself, causing him to die, so Gascon and Reynard actually live. Either way, Meve is pissed and rushes to Dahi's tower to kill him, but he gets away in a breadbasket because he too is a little bitch. Meve's super tight Dahi got away, but can't focus on that right now. They just siege the castle and now literally have to turn around immediately and protect said castle because there's a whole other army coming. Because she's a badass and forged a badass army out of nothing, they do, and what reinforcements they don't kill end up running away. The war is finally turning and Nilfgaard is on the verge of a full-on choke. Dahi and his remaining force are held up in Edirn, the city where the homie king had his hooker baby. Speaking of, After helping him have that baby and getting nothing in return, guess what? Homie King wants Meve's help again. Really, guy? Really? Meve goes to help, but it doesn't matter because Emperor Emir, the supreme leader of Nilfgaard, tells Dahi to kill himself. GG's, it's over. Yeah, just like that. As you would guess, the legendary Queen Meve would rule for many years to come, and you get one of 20 different endings depending on the myriad of choices you made throughout the game. For my playthrough, Willem is dead, but remembered as a hero. Gascon becomes a noble, but then suddenly disappears. Nilfgaard respects Meve, drops the GG well played, even though they lost. Human-non-human relations start to become slightly less racist, kinda, not really. And the relationship between her and Reynard becomes something more than just advisory, if you know what I'm saying. Let's go, Reynard, my guy. And that's Thronebreaker, The Witcher Tales. Again, a great story and one where your choices actually matter instead of getting the same events no matter which life path you take. I'm looking at you, Cyberpunk. Those life paths don't do shit. After playing this, I'm starting to get back into the Witcher franchise and might do videos for the mainline games. I don't know. What do you guys think? If you found this video helpful or at all entertaining, please be sure to like, subscribe, enable notifications so you don't miss any amazing future content. Also, make sure you let me know in the comments what other games you guys want to see. We've already done a ton of other explain videos, so make sure you check those out as well. As we continue the Explain series, please bear with me as these videos take time. Some of these games need to be replayed in order to get the full experience so I can pass it on to you. And Blanca is a very busy boy with a full-time job, young family, and a growing live stream. If you'd like to hang out with us on the live stream, join the family on Discord or connect on any of the socials. All my links can be found in the description below. I'm LaMuerteBlanca, and I'll catch you guys next time.